the Biafran government in exile is in the eye of the storm as we speak. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has accused the Finnish government and the European Union of shielding the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB.
Hi, good morning. This video is not all about to support insecurity or to support the government, because I'm not a policeman. I'm not a member of Department of State Security Service, so I don't know who is causing insecurity or who is not causing insecurity. But I want to speak about what has been trending on Nigeria media spaces, in the national televisions, TVC, channels television. There is something that they are talking about that needed an urgent attention, and that is the stress of arresting Simon Ekpa. Well, I have seen a lot of time the chief defense officer, that is Mr. Musa. Yes. So the man have been saying that the Finland government is supporting Simon Ekpa, that the Finland government is not doing a good thing by protecting him. So there are so many things that we must look into regarding this talk. First of all, let me take you back to the memory lane. Before nnamdi was arrested, or before the soldiers started coming to the southeast in the name that there are some persons trying to divide the country, they call them IPOB, they want to divide the country, that the soldiers should go and stop them. Now, before then, IPOB was the most peaceful organization on earth. Only thing they do is to go on the street, blow whistle, and that was what they were doing. They sent python dance to make sure they stopped them. They started killing them, people who are armless and so on and so forth. And that was how the Nigerian government created a monster that is destroying that region today. Now, let's go back to the issue of arresting Simon Ekpa. The Nigerian government believe that if they arrest Simon Ekpa, everything in the southeast will end. That is a very shallow thinking. A very shallow thinking. First of all, let me ask, was Simon Ekpa there when Biafra was declared? Absolutely no, he was not there. So this idea is inbuilt. It is something that has been born with people from this region. Now, they were thinking that once nnamdi is arrested as their leader, that everything is going to stop. All the agitation and so on and so forth. Nobody will talk about Biafra again. They arrested nnamdi. So when they arrested nnamdi, it became worse. Because as I tell you today, nnamdi, whether he is the one that is making everyone to just have more of this spirit of Biafra or spirit to separate from Nigeria, the hatred now becomes so visible that almost everyone in the region is now loyal to this group called IPOB. I was speaking to one of my friends. I said, proscribing IPOB is like proscribing the whole Southeast. Yes, you might say it's not everybody that is IPOB member, but almost 90% of Southeasterners are loyal to IPOB, either you believe me or not. Now, they started doing sit at home. They started gaining momentum. The rise of Simon Ekpa just come in place. Now, Simon Ekpa, it seems to be a bigger threat to the Nigerian government than nnamdi. They are now crying everywhere, shouting on the national television. They wrote to Finland government. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is in diplomatic talk with the Finland government. But the Finland government is now responding to Nigeria. And what they are responding to Nigeria is this. Simon Ekpa has not violated any criminal code. He has not violated any constitution that is against something of such that you people are talking. Now, the Nigerian government is telling the Finland government that Simon Ekpa is the reason why there is insecurity in Nigeria. Does that make sense? Are you telling dumps? Are you telling people that don't reason? I don't know whether Nigeria think that everyone just reason like them. How can you tell someone that is living in Finland, going to work, doing his normal day life, he will take video and do videos and begin to tell people that Biafra must come, that we must do everything, that they should not allow soldiers to kill them, that if soldiers come to kill them, that they should defend themselves. You ask them to repatriate him to your country. The statement he made, when you go line by line, you will understand that it's not against the constitution. So now, as I said in my previous video, if the government of Nigeria should believe that someone who is not in Nigeria could just make a call, a video, and cause insecurity in Nigeria, meaning Nigeria is not fit to be a nation. You can't do that in other country. The defense staff was saying something that if a Nigerian is here causing nuisance in European Union country, whether they will like it, you can't. If you are in Nigeria making call, Are you going to tell them to carry gun into the European country territory? You can't, because it's not going to work for you. You don't have the access, the airspace, the border security, the land security, the waterways, everywhere is tight. You can't smuggle arms into European Union. So if you leave your borders open for people to smuggle arms into your country, don't blame someone who is doing video in Finland. That is the message the Finland government is passing. Don't blame people who are doing video in in Finland, that they are the reason why there are insecurity in your country. So you as a military man, policeman, where is your intelligence? How is someone sitting in the comfort of his room? How is he causing insecurity in Nigeria? You see, sometimes, Nigerians, they think that the way we believe, the way we reason, that is the other country reason. And that is the problem we have in Nigeria. And that is why I'm happy that people are talking about that people go to their regions in Nigeria, because the way these people reason is not the way these people reason. Some persons in Nigeria just reason that any time you are talking about separation of Nigeria, meaning it's a treasonable offense. No, it's not. If you tag that, that could be termed as treason in Nigeria. In other countries, it's not treason. So when you are telling the Finnish government to make sure they arrest Simon Ekpa, they will be laughing at you. So a lot of talks has been on national televisions, but take a look at this one.
The Biafran government in exile is in the eye of the storm as we speak. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has accused the Finnish government and the European Union of shielding the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra, ipob. The President General has called for the arrest and extradition of Simon Ekpa to the country. The disquiet in southeast Nigeria is believed to be provoked by the Finland-based Enfant Terrible. Right? So for once we are zeroing in on Simon Ekpa.
But this is not the first time. This is not the first time Chief of Defense has spoken like that. This is not the first time that the high-ranking official of the Nigerian government has spoken like that. We have to look at the fact that Simon Ekpa is a citizen of Finland. So that serves as a kind of a hindrance to saying his extradition. Yes, but the Chief of Defense has said something interesting, that if it was the other way around and Simon Ekpa was in Nigeria, would the government of Finland and the European Union allow such to exist? Well, it's about balance of interests, balance of strategic interests. That is why in pursuing our foreign policy, we must do it in such a way that we command respect. We continue to command respect in the Committee of Nations. Otherwise, you will even see, look at small nations, the way they treat Nigerians. Nations that Nigeria used to send aid to, even pay salaries of their workers and do things for, even send soldiers to go and fight wars or to go and put down coups. Look at how they treat Nigerians. No respect for Nigerians anywhere around the world anymore. So many Nigerians in prisons around the world.
When I said earlier on, quoting Warren Buffett,
yes,
a reputation built over 20 years can be lost in 5 minutes.
Yes. So
she was wondering if it is 1 minute.
It may just be even a few seconds. So now government has to look at ways of, yes, sustaining pressure on Finland and on the European Union to help in dealing with these things. Yes, you're talking about human rights. You respect human rights, no doubt about that. But you see, your own rights stop where the right to swing your arm stops where the other man's nose begins. So we must look at it in such a way. There must be a robust engagement on this issue so that we state it clearly that Nigeria is not happy and comfortable with the activities of this individual. And it should not just be, the Chief of Defense Staff appearing on channels, on a TV channel and saying these things, and then after that everybody goes back to the daily run. The Minister of Foreign Affairs must make it a priority, take it up robustly, so that there should be a robust engagement with these people, so to tell them that these things are not acceptable. And then we make sure that it is, it is sustained, it is consistent, and of course, you can achieve a lot with it. Then again, in terms of technology, this fellow is using technology, you know, in spreading his messages. So why can't you use counter technology?
Okay.
Can't you use technology also to counter him? Yes, you cannot just sit helplessly. You know, there must be certain things you can, which of course I praise the military, what they are doing. They are really trying here and there. The security services are trying, but there must also be countermeasures you can take using technology to make sure you cut funding. If there is funding from wherever place to wherever place, then using technology to cut off communications, in terms of communications.
But Emeka, are you not disturbed that a Simon Ekpa would want to sweep the rug under the feet of Nnamdi Kanu?
Of course, you know, when there is nature abhors a vacuum. The repatriation of Nnamdi Kanu, you know, and the arrest, you know, open the door to all kinds of people. You know, now franchise holders, you know, calling themselves all kinds of names and taking advantage of this situation. But Nnamdi Kanu himself said, yes, I'm not happy about the security situation in the Southeast. Release me and I will assist you in quelling the security situation. Yeah. That's why I've called for a political solution to his matter, so that you can release him and then let him work with government to deal with this security situation. Now, when the environment is secure, we can hold conversations around issues, you know, issues of, you know, of whatever, you know, whatever areas. We can hold conversations around those issues, and we will definitely get to a point of agreement. But keeping him there and saying that you are fighting Simon Ekpa, no, you are burning two ends of the candle. It can't work.
Okay, Ibn Abo, you can't ignore Simon Ekpa in the equation.
There are many ways to go around this. We have to be realistic. Do we have any form of extradition treaty with Finland? You don't ask for what you don't.
Not there.
I mean, do you have any kind of treaty in that regards? Now, let me leave that. I'm looking at the whole of the southeastern region. We have about 5 states. We have Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states. These governors should come together. Because let's assume that you are even an independent state, you are a sovereign nation, and you're having these issues. How do you solve it?
All right, Ibn Abo, but you think that extraditing Simon Ekpa, he will go some way of dousing tension?
I'm not too sure about that. What happened when Nnamdi Kanu was brought to Nigeria? Was there any form of abatement to the activities of the ipob? So that is not the solution. The solution, we should start from within. Let the governors come around. They are your people. What can you do? Where are they? Are they dropping from the sky? We should look for solution within ourselves. Yes, given Mr. President is the chief of commander-in-chief of the armed forces and all of that. But if you have come up with a solution, then you can now discuss with the president and even call on other governors to work hand in hand, because these states are bounded by other states. So you work hand in hand, and then when you work like that, when you are beginning to see some positive, responses or results, then you can begin to look at other things to be done. But for now, you can't just be sitting we are like sitting ducks, and anyone can just throw anything at us. This is not right. We have to take the bull by the horn. Bringing Finland, sending Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria cannot solve the problem. Somebody else will come up.
Simple, from another country.
Yes. So it's not a solution, please. It's not.
So the whole thing sounds like business to you, a franchise.
Well, didn't we see when there was agitation in Niger Delta? The names you were hearing then, did anybody ever come out to tell you, I am so person, I'm sorry? You see, when you allow situations to degenerate. Even you may even find out that you may even have rogue elements in the security services who will be aiding people fighting against the state. It happens.
AKA fifth columnist.
Yes, it happens. Then you have people for different reasons, who are just doing things, engaging in criminal activities, and then everything is tagged around one name. The issue for me is this: get Nnamdi Kanu released, find a political solution to his situation, and then work with him and governors, religious leaders, traditional rulers, political leaders, work with them to find a solution. And one other problem is that there are a number of villages that are deserted in the southeast. I traveled through some recently. I told you I ran into unknown gunmen at a point. So, deserted, completely deserted. And these people have run to different areas, displaced from their natural areas of residence. How do you deal with those ones? So we must take deliberate measures to solve the insecurity situation. Everything must not be done with force.
To you, what's on the front burner would be a political solution to the whole.
Yes, to Nnamdi Kanu's issue. Find a political solution, and then.
So you watch if people like Simon Ekpa will still be relevant.
Well, how would they be? Who would they be talking to? When the arrowhead is out of detention and he has said it openly that he is willing to, put in effort to resolve the security situation. Why not give him a chance? Find a way around it. You see, it is when government doesn't want to act that they start making excuses. No, there can't be a political solution, there can't be this. But you've had cases where you found a political solution. You've had cases where government discontinued prosecution. So the point is that don't pretend as if your hands are tied. You cannot find solutions because we are losing security personnel.
Sometimes when hands are tied, you are wondering if it's to the front or to the back.
In this situation, there's no tying of hands.
Okay.
We just have to be deliberate and intentional about it. I mean, the solution is here. Let us take it. Nnamdi Kanu came up and made a suggestion. What are you doing with it?
But if, in obedience to what the army chief is saying, Simon Ekpa is turned loose, something will give.
It is because, you see, if it is because Nnamdi is not free yet, once the boss comes out, you just said it, Arrowhead is the one. Once he is out, the people will listen to him. And then with the collaboration of all of the governors and all hands on deck.
So many people will be involved in all
hands on deck, there will be solution.